give you a brief example, because this isn't really a base metal conference, I just want you to note these two charts. The top two charts are 5-year price charts for copper on the left, zinc on the right. The bottom charts are 5-year warehouse inventory charts, copper on the left, zinc on the right. You'll notice, and I've drawn some vertical lines to highlight it, there's obviously a very strong negative correlation, as there would be, between the warehouse stocks and the prices. The more the warehouse stocks drop, the higher the price goes, because people start worrying about supplies. You'll note in the last little while, if you look on the right side of the chart sets on both sides, inventories have started climbing again fairly rapidly in copper, less rapidly in zinc in the last 2 or 3 months, but it hasn't really done much of anything to the price. That, I think, is a measure of the anti-currency, the anti-dollar trade going on in these commodities. That gives us a bit of a note of caution. We're quite bullish base metals long run, but I'd very much like to see these warehouse inventories topping out before I start jumping on anything again in the short term. So what keeps the markets up right now? Low interest rate, lack of return on alternative assets. That's an incredibly strong stimulus. I really can't overstate how strong a stimulus zero interest rates is when it comes to the equity markets. Fund buying, there are a lot of equity funds that have to be there, although I do note, as we have with readers for some months now, that volumes in the big markets are pretty light. The other reason, frankly, is the world's not coming to an end as people feared it would early this year. We haven't been believers in the depression scenario ourselves, so we were expecting the market to bottom and to bounce. But I do think that even now, after this big run, volumes are still quite light on the big markets. There is a lot of money on the sidelines, and as we noted, based on those low bond market yields, there's obviously a lot of people parking money outside of the equities market. A lot of people missed this rally. They're sitting it out now. My gut feeling is most of these people are not going to be in the market until they see a correction. Having missed a 60% run, I don't see that many of them capitulating now until they see a pullback. There is some other good news, though. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it's all doom and gloom, because from our point of view, it isn't. This is, I think, an important chart. It's an index that doesn't get looked at that much. It's generated by an organization called the Economic Cycle Research Institute. They generate a set of 3 indexes, a leading, a coincident, and a lagging indicator. I've drawn a red oval on the right side of the leading indicator. It's had an extremely strong move. Note that this is a 35-year chart, actually. This is one of the strongest short-term moves I've seen. The one caveat I would have with this is, as a private index, they don't actually publish all the components to it, but I would note, and you can check this by looking at this 35-year chart yourself, this is a pretty accurate index. Our leading indicator has a very good track record and a good reputation, and right now it's definitely quite strong. So I take that as a big plus. More generally, speaking of not just precious metals, but base metals and commodities in general, it's very important to remember when you're dealing with commodities, you're not just talking about the G7. In fact, when you're dealing with metals, the big demand areas are not the G7. The growth areas are not the G7. They're the developing countries that we've been talking about for years. And to give you an indication of how different things are in these 2 areas, I've thrown up 3 indexes on this chart. It's a 10-year chart that shows the S&P, the Mumbai index in India, and the Shanghai index. You'll note there's a pretty strong difference between these 2 trends. New York, yes, we would agree with the argument that it's in a secular bear market, has been basically since 2000. Shanghai, Mumbai, not so much. It's been a very strong rally, a long one, both in gold and in equities. I think you have to assume a correction is highly likely in the short term. We're getting close to year-end now. A lot of fund managers that did jump on the bandwagon earlier this year are looking pretty smart, and they'll have to make some decisions. And I would expect part of that decision is going to be profit-taking either right before or right after year-end. The big question is how the sideline money is going to respond to this. I don't think we'll see a lot of that come in now until there's a pullback. Some of those people may never come back. It was an ugly market. Some people have been scared out of it. But I think looking at what they missed on in the last 9 months, we'll see more money come into this market in general. And I expect even more money proportionately to come into commodities and into gold, because that's turned out to be a real lifesaver for a lot of people's portfolios. We think gold and precious metals will continue to be strong. It will have pulled back since it had a big up leg too, but the basic underlying economic arguments for a strong and secular bull market in commodities, and particularly in gold, really haven't changed in the last year. If anything, they've become stronger. So what do you do personally? What we're doing, we look for undervalued hard asset plays, that is, companies with gold in development or in production. These should only be getting bought on weakness now, because a lot of them have had good runs, even though the gold indexes haven't quite moved with gold itself. It's still being pretty strong, and buying on weakness is the best way to go. We look for explorers in particular, because prices are high enough now that explorers with strong results are getting a lot of attention and good price moves. Don't forget to trade. When you get a big profit, take some money off the table, trade your costs down, make sure you've always got a cash balance. Medium to long term, we're still very bullish on other metals, but like I said earlier in this, we'd like to see a correction before we jump on some of that stuff again. Just before closing, I want to leave you with a couple of charts, and I'd like you to take a good look at these. These are ones we put up for a while now. They're quite important because it tells you a lot about where we're coming from with this entire secular bull market we've talked about for years. The one on the left shows emerging economies' exports as a percentage of GDP. A couple of things are important about this. One is that exports in general are getting less important to their economies, but more to the point, the exports to developed countries, to the G7 or G10, if you will, are getting much less important. In other words, the U.S. isn't determining their economic future to the extent anybody thinks it is. The more important chart, perhaps, is how much of the world's GDP growth is from developing countries, how much is emerging economies. There's been an incredible shift over the last 15 years. If you look at the right side of the chart, 80% of world growth is coming out of developed economies right now. Is it really any wonder why we think there's a secular commodity bull market going on? That's where the action is, folks. This just gives you a very brief overview of what our publications are. I'm not going to bother going into that today. The list is there on the slides. More to the point, I want to point out to you in closing, we've put together a special with our friend Peter Grandich, and you can find this special if you visit Peter's blog on Agoracom. It gives you access to a very good price on our special delivery service, but also gives you access to a free copy of some very recent alerts and a recent journal. It'll give you some idea of how we cover companies and what kind of companies we cover, and there's an interview there between Peter and I. In closing, I think we've got a good market. I think the market's going to continue, but it's going to get jagged here given how long the run is. So be smart, trade smart, look for good, strong producers and explorers, because this market overall on the commodity side has got a long way to run. Thank you very much.